All right, let's get started here. Oops, I forgot to turn my, I have to turn this down or off so you guys can see my phone. All right, so at pattern-collections.com is where we're going to go to get today's pattern. Scrolling down. For some reason my phone's a little sluggish. Oh, pardon me. Can't sneeze when I'm not on video, can I? No, it has to wait till I turn on record. Oh, sorry about that, folks. Okay, so today's pattern is Spidey. And this is by Kevin Brooke Hudson. One of the few male names I've seen on a Tangle pattern. So it looks like it's going to be a grid pattern. Look at those, fun. Okay, so we're going to start with a circle in the middle, and then we're going to do sort of a ricey-like shape going here, but instead of coming to a point here at the dot, we want to make sure that you're kind of like on the edge of the circle. So it's a little bit fatter here at this end than that end. And it looks like then we go the other direction also. And then from this intersection, we're going to do out like this in an arc. And then another one not quite as curvy. And fill in the two little like body shape pieces. So there it is with them all going the same direction, right? Just like the pattern step out. And here it is where it goes in different directions. And you'll note that they, on this one, they have not drawn the grid. It's in pencil because you don't see it in the final product. I think that is way cool. I really like that. And then look at, this is drawn with the little bodies going where they all touch in the middle. This one's drawn where the little bodies are in the, going the diagonal in the corner like that. And look at how different those two look. This one looks like it's got some sort of white lace overlay with that black behind. And this one looks different. I think that's really, really fascinating. And then here's one with it here in the middle, and they've used a different pattern in the back that looks like, is that flip flap or something like that is what that was called. And then here it is being drawn on some wonky grids of various sizes. Way cool. So I am going to give that a shot and see what happens. Now I can turn this on. I have already pre-drawn my string, which is string 52. Looks like that. You can barely see it in pencil, but I've drawn it already. I've had some new people on the channel who don't know what a string is, so I'm going to explain that. A string is a simple way to divide up your tile to make a composition. Simple as that. And you can do it in a variety of different ways to draw the string. You can just freehand a little swoop-de-doop. You can make a pattern like this, whatever you want to do to, sorry, I'm just kind of organizing myself here. I've gone all rogue, pulled out too many things, and then I reached down to pick up something that's the wrong thing. Okay, so that's all it is. And so we're going to take this general shape and use it as a guideline how to compose our tile. Sometimes I use the lines exactly as they are. Sometimes I just make a gesture, like put the the pattern along this line, sort of. But sometimes I do use it just the way it is. So it's not set in stone. It's just sort of a general guideline, but it helps you compose your tile. That being said, let's figure out how I want to compose this tile. And I'm thinking, I don't really think I want, well, for sure I want the border. So let me just go ahead and draw the border to start with. I want a kind of a wonky one though. This pen is not, I think I might have mushed my tip. So it's not drying very well, and this is a new one. That is the problem with microns. I find that it's really easy to mush the tip, and then they don't draw very well. I think I'm going to use this as a guide, but I don't think I want them so angular. So I'm going to do more of this as my string. Oh, I was going to do that in pencil. Too late now. That one's in pen. Ay, ay, ay. All right, well, we're just going to see what it looks like when you draw it in pen then. Does that kind of look weird? No, I want it in pencil. All right, so that one's going to be... Do I want it like that? No. No, not feeling it. Not feeling that at all. I think I want it more wonky because I drew it wonky. I think I want a wonky kind of grid. Let's do this. Do that as a grid. Why not? Absolutely. Why not? Okay, I'm gonna pick that one as my starting point. Just gonna pick a corner. Pick a corner, any corner, as my starting point. And in here is gonna be a little circle. And then we're going to have sort of a shape like that, and a shape like this, and then coming out from that shape is kind of that, and that, and this, and that. Like this. Something along that nature, correct? Sort of. Okay. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to go this way. Ooh, that really wonkies it up though, doesn't it? How'd they draw that in a wonky grid? They just drew it. However it came out, that's how they did it. Something like that. Not sure I'm caring for this. But you know what? It's fine. It is what it is. Something like that. And then it's going to go corner to corner this way. Like that. I wished I had lined those up better next time. Next time I will line those up. I didn't line them up, so they look funky. Yeah, I'm not overly happy with my composition so far, but going to be more careful with how I line these things up. They need to touch. Those ones going that way need to touch. That's better. Lined those ones up better. And then these going this way don't matter as much because you can do it from the next bunch. Okay. And these ones are going this way. Like that. Works. Much better when you line those ones up. Okay. That's the only one that's like way off. I think I want to fill those in. I'm going to just get a little bit thicker of a nibbed pen to fill that in with. Let me get my 03. My 03 is just a little bit thicker. This one happens to be a Stettler pigment liner. Any old pen will work. So I was telling you about my tooth saga. Went to the dentist today. Which for you guys is not today because I'm drawing You guys, I think this is tomorrow's drawing. But in any case, went to the dentist again because, well, you know about my crown falling off. He wanted a follow-up visit, and I told him that something wasn't quite right with that tooth that had the root canal, but he wanted to ask me about it when I was at the office the other day, but since he'd already numbed up my face, I really couldn't tell if what he'd done while he was in there had really done anything or not. He adjusted a couple of things because it was riding a little high. So he ground a little bit of spot off, and it felt better, I thought, but I couldn't really 100% tell because it was numb in there. So he wanted me to come back so he could check on the one that he had cemented back in, make sure it was good, and see what was going on with the tooth that had the root canal. Yeah, it's not pretty in there. Apparently I have something called, what do you call it? Shh. I've already forgotten what he called it. Cracked tooth syndrome. That's what it was. Cracked tooth syndrome, where if the tooth is cracked, but it's like a microscopic crack, you don't see it on the x-ray. And even though we've done the root canal, and the root canal took well, he says the root looks good, but there's probably another fracture somewhere in the tooth, and that's causing a bit of a gum infection. Maybe he's hoping not a bone infection, but for sure a gum infection. And the tooth is still kind of mushy, and it wiggles, and it has intermittent pain. Told him that was the weird thing, is that it's not like painful, like all the time painful. It's just every so often it will just have this twinge of pain, and he said that's typical of this cracked tooth syndrome, because it seems like it's because it's not actually all the way broken. Sometimes it feels fine, and sometimes you'll notice the crack. And so kind of depends on what you're eating, when you're eating, how much pressure you're putting on your tooth. All those things, I guess, makes a difference as to when you feel any kind of discomfort or pain. Because I told him it doesn't like hurt, but every so often it does. So yeah, we discussed treatment options, and looks like that tooth is gonna have to come out. And depending on circumstance and finances, may or may not get an implant in there. But he can't do implants. That's not his thing. He'd have to send me out to a specialist. Okay, so I like this up until I get to here. I'm going to kind of maybe disguise that somehow. We'll try again on this side. I think I'm going to do it slightly differently though. I think I'm actually going to get rid of this middle piece and do it in a bigger scale. I think that will make me feel better. I'm just going to leave that like that. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. I like it on a bigger scale. Like that. Still gonna do it going this way because I really like that look. That sort of zigzaggy thing that's happening. Okay. Okay, that's just a weird shape. That ended up a weird shape. It's all right though. It's okay. We can handle it, right? Yep. Put this here. This one's going to be a weird shape too, and I'm all right with that. But I want this one to come here. I want it to connect there, but this one's going to be odd. I don't know. I don't think I liked how that ended up, but it is what it is. Okay. Okay. Do I want to color that in? That is my question. Or do I want to do something different? Thinking that this is going to end up that. That's how to fix that so they aren't just sticking out like that. I think that's how I'm going to fix this over here too. I'm going to add extra legs so they're touching like this. Because you notice that less. You still notice that there's something not the same, but you notice it less than when they're just like hanging out there and not touching. And I think that's all right. I think I'm going to get my bigger pen again, and I think I'm going to fill in the background. Let me get my brush pen. So I want a bigger nib here. Okay, that works. What I was deciding, looking up into the camera, because that screen gives me that same effect as standing back further from my piece. Sometimes you just need to stand back and take a look at it, and literally stand back. The camera kind of does that for me. I'm deciding if I want to fill in these spaces here as well, or if I'm just going to leave it like this. I'm going to start with leaving it like this and see what happens. Ooh, but that's going to be not right there. Ooh, 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 ooh. See, that's what happened. I got an odd space. So yeah, I'm going to have to fill those in. Oh, that answered that question. See how these were only up against those like legs, but this one's up against the body? In order for it to look right, their dark color is going to have to be up against the body on all of them. So that's okay. That just answered my question. That's okay. Just means that this is going to take a little longer than I had anticipated. There's something about coloring in that just takes longer than it takes to draw. Coloring in and the shading sometimes takes longer than drawing the whole thing. Perfect. That works. Almost feels like it needs to have a little dark in there, but no. I just know that one's just a little odd, a little off. No biggie. Been so nice having today off. Work has been really hard. Got 2 people out, one on vacation and one out for death in the family. But we are falling behind on our tasks at work. We just don't have enough people to get it done. He wanted me to work today, but told him I had that dentist appointment and things to do. He doesn't know I have YouTube to take care of here. Would have no time to get any more drawing done this week if I didn't have today off. Very important. No, I'm just kidding. I would have found a way to get it done, but he's got me on the schedule for opening shift tomorrow, which I never have to do, which means I'm gonna have to get up early. I am not a morning person. One would think with my name I would be an learning person, but I am not. I have an ironic name. Okay. So far so good. But now the background needs something. And I am thinking that perhaps I need to draw either in grays. Yeah, I think I'm going to do grays. Okay, I'm actually going to do this Payne's gray, which is kind of a bluish gray, and this really light gray. I think that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to try to draw this Tangle freestyle over here without the grid. Think I can do that? I don't know, but I'm going to try. Okay, it's going to start with a circle. And then it's going to have a race shape going something like that. And then it's going to have 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. And then it's going to have another circle here. I see that these gray bleeds a little. See how it kind of sucks up into the fibers of the paper? Bleeds a little bit. Which is not horrible, but I have to remember that it does that. Because it may not be the look I'm looking for sometimes. Something like that. Don't know if that's accurate, but it's where it's going. Needs to go which way? If I put one here, which way does it need to go? Let me look at the sample. The grid is helpful. FYI, the grid is definitely helpful. Okay then. It's not accurate, but it's the direction it ended up. Whatever. It's something that kind of goes with the pattern. Kind of, sort of. Not its best move. And I'm going to do the same not its best move on this side because I think they need to match. Oh, I needed to make this gray in the middle though. I need to fill this in. I'm going to do a little, oh, I grabbed the wrong pen. Well, I guess it's going to be a little bit darker of a gray. Yeah, these pens bleed. I am disappointed in that. Oh well. It is what it is. I am not happy with that at all. Not even a little bit. Alright, what am I going to do? How am I going to fix that? See, if you zoom in, it's really bad. I don't know. Oh, goodness sakes. What do I want to do? The Payne's Gray one didn't bleed quite as bad as the other one. The other one bled really badly. Sort of defeats the purpose of the blue or the Payne's Gray. You almost don't see the color, but it's all right. It was a thought. It was an experiment. It went awry a little bit. There's no need to stop what you're doing though if it goes awry. You might as well just muddle through until you get to the end, and you never know. You may like it when you're all finished. This is going to be a long video though. How long am I gone? Oh golly, 40 minutes. This pattern should not take this long. It's just the way I drew it. The pattern itself, not a hard pattern. I just made myself too big a challenge to tackle in a short amount of time. just do this, try to get it done reasonably quickly because I need to keep my video under an hour, if at all possible. Okay, let's just do that. That works, sort of. Yeah. I don't know, not completely happy with this side over here. Question is, will I be happier if I just make those lines black? Probably. The gray now looks funny. I think I'm just going to go back and use my... I drew it with a fatter marker though, so I'm going to draw it with my 03 and just trace what I did. Kind of get rid of that gray best I can. That's better. Now see, I could take this pattern, turn off my camera, start again, and draw this better. I could totally draw this better. I could take this idea, I like this idea, and I could do the black and white thing better. But then you guys wouldn't see how the creative process works and how sometimes, you know, you just have to muddle through, and sometimes your drawing is not a complete, I mean, it's a finished drawing, but it's not a work of art. It's not a masterpiece. Sometimes that happens. That's okay. I'm happy with this and how it turned out. It is not perfect by any means, but it's acceptable. And the point of doing this work is not necessarily to come out with a beautiful drawing. Sometimes it's just the act of drawing that is the important thing. And I think in this case, that is what has happened. The act of drawing has become the most important thing, and the rest of it just kind of goes by the wayside. You know, my eye sees this blue-gray and this gray. But you really don't see it. So it's okay. But I want to make a little bit more contrast in these shapes. So I'm going to go ahead and shade right here because I want this sort of hourglass shape that I created to be like on top. I'm going to just do a little bit right there, and then I'm going to do a little bit right here. I'm not going to go across the whole black because that tends to make it the black shiny and actually do the opposite of what I want, which is to send it to the background. So I'm just going to do right on the white part here, like that. And I have to remember to put on my shoes and walk down to the mailbox. Trying to remember to go down to the mailbox every single day. Most of the time it's just a bunch of junk. So I kind of had gotten out of the habit of going down there every day, but our local area is getting rife with mailbox thefts, where they break into the mailbox and they just steal everything in the box. Not just your box, but the whole, where we live, they have those neighborhood post boxes with the locks on them, but they're like down the middle of the street. Not in the middle of the street, at the middle of the block. And so there's a post with 10 or 12 mailboxes on it or whatever it is on each side of the street. And yeah, they're breaking into the mailboxes and stealing stuff, and then either stealing your identity, which is possible, but most likely what they're doing is they're stealing any checks that might come. And so, you know, you don't get a check that you may not even know you're expecting a check. You know, somebody might send you a birthday gift or whatever, and you don't know that a check is in the mail coming to you, or if you're expecting like a refund check or something. You know, it never shows up, but it gets cashed because they are able to bleach the names and then put their own names in there and cash the checks. So yeah, all sorts of bad stuff happening. So we're trying really hard not to keep any mail in the box for as long as possible. Go out there and grab it. This one was called Spidey. S-P-I-D-E-Y on 52. String number 52. Oh, I didn't sign it. Okay, that will have to do for the day. I will see you guys tomorrow. It's going to be the last... Oh, today was the last day of the month, wasn't it? Let me look. I do believe... Yes, indeed. Tomorrow starts October 1st. Need to change my background to something orange, probably. I will think about it. Okay, you guys have a great day. I will see you tomorrow on the 1st. Last day of the week, first day of the month. Where has this year gone? It's October. It's October, people. Where has the year gone? I don't really know, but I've been enjoying myself drawing every single day. So you guys have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.